Nikola Tesla, a Serbian inventor, can be considered as one of the most intriguing personalities in history due to his remarkable achievements and lasting impact. With his exceptional work, Tesla not only left a significant mark on the world, but also became an enigmatic figure that continues to captivate the minds of many. Although Tesla's accomplishments and inventions have garnered widespread attention and media coverage, there is a trove of rumors and undisclosed secrets surrounding the renowned inventor in recent times. These revelations have surfaced through letters he penned to both friends and investors, shedding light on previously unknown aspects of his life and work. The exploration of these hidden facets has provided invaluable insights into the enigmatic genius that Nikola Tesla was. His quest for advancing science and technology led him to envision a weapon of unprecedented power, a death ray capable of delivering an annihilating force to enemy targets from great distances. He envisioned the death ray as a particle beam weapon that would transmit focused energy waves over vast distances. This weapon would harness and amplify the power of electricity, directing it towards enemy aircraft, ships, or even entire armies. An interesting FBI document has been released that details Nikola Tesla did in fact create a death ray. The article reads as follows. Reference is made to the Bureau letter dated January 21, 1943, which bore a caption similar to that mentioned above. The reference letter dealt with the death, on January 7, 1943, of the famous inventor Nikola Tesla, who, as well as being the inventor of alternating current, perfected many electrical devices. He is also credited with having developed the death ray, which would safeguard any country from attack by air. On June 9, 1945, a Ralph Bergstresser of New York City furnished information of a non-specific nature, indicating that it was his belief that persons sympathetic to Russia were making an effort to secure the effects of Nikola Tesla in order to salvage therefrom any models or designs of possible military value. Mr. Bergstresser claimed that he heard that Abraham Spaney, president of the National Latex Corporation of Dover and Delaware, was the motivating influence behind this attempt to obtain Tesla's papers, which are presently held in storage at the Manhattan Storage Warehouse in New York City. Bergstresser promised to return to the New York Field Division shortly after his initial visit and furnish further and more specific information to support his claims. He was not heard from again until September 27, 1945, at which time he furnished the following additional information. He said that a boyhood chum of his from Wichita, Kansas, Blois Fitzgerald, had been Tesla's protege and one of the inventor's few confidants. According to Bergstresser, Fitzgerald, who is now an Army private stationed at Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio, is a brilliant 29-year-old scientist who spent endless hours with Tesla prior to the latter's passing, during which time Tesla explained to him secret experiments. Bergstresser stated that Fitzgerald met Tesla in November 1942, but he has been corresponding with the latter since 1935. According to the informant, Fitzgerald had developed some sort of anti-tank gun, the details of which he presented to Tesla, who made certain corrections in design and specifications to further perfect the weapon. Bergstresser related that sometime in December 1942, when Fitzgerald was attending a meeting of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, he made the acquaintance of Abraham Spanel, who became interested in Fitzgerald's gun. Spanel offered financial aid to Fitzgerald, and the two were in the closest contact with each other for a considerable period of time. Bergstresser said that Fitzgerald had lined up a deal for the purchase of the gun, but for some reason, Spanel blocked this deal by reaching top men in the company. Spanel is then reported as having obtained a job for Fitzgerald with the Higgins Shipbuilding Company in New Orleans and negotiated a contract with Fitzgerald for the purchase and manufacture of the gun in a manner which would return a percentage of the profits to Spanel. According to Bergstresser, Fitzgerald is presently working on the perfecting of Tesla's death ray, which, in Fitzgerald's opinion, is the only possible defense against offensive use by another nation of the atomic bomb. In this connection, it is noted that the New York Times of September 22, 1940, in an article entitled Science in the News by William Lawrence, science editor, states that Tesla divulged to Lawrence the fact that he had developed a death ray or teleforce, which Tesla claimed would melt airplane motors at a distance of 250 miles, so that an invisible Chinese wall would be built around a country against attack by an enemy air force. This electrical device would operate by the generation of power from a plant, a number of which might be located strategically along our coastlines, and the beam of which would melt any engine within a radius of 250 miles. Bergstresser stated that during Fitzgerald's acquaintance with Spinell, Fitzgerald had told Spinell of his associations with Tesla, and had apparently described to Spinell some of Tesla's most secret work. Bergstresser believes that Spinell, who he claims is definitely pro-Russian in attitude, is now attempting through legal procedure to secure custody of Tesla's effects, which are now held by Tesla's only heirs, one Sava Kosanovic, who is presently in Yugoslavia occupying some governmental post. Nikola Tesla, widely regarded as one of the most brilliant intellects of our time, is now recognized for his groundbreaking contributions. Although his genius was not fully appreciated during his lifetime, the years following his death have brought a newfound respect for his visionary pursuits. Tesla fearlessly delved into the realm of electricity, exploring its potential and pioneering advancements, such as anti-gravity technology and the enigmatic concept of the ether. Similar to many other influential thinkers from the past, Tesla's profound impact on modern-day life often goes unnoticed by contemporary audiences. It is through his extraordinary intellect that the world has witnessed groundbreaking inventions like electricity, radar, microwaves, radio, drones, and countless other remarkable advancements. Undoubtedly, Tesla epitomizes a man whose genius was destined for a different era. Tesla embraced an ancient mystical concept called the ether, which he discussed extensively, and believed he could harness its powers to shape a future filled with extraordinary devices, transforming humanity's capabilities. This led to a well-known quote attributed to Nikola Tesla, wherein he envisioned a world where wireless communication would turn the entire Earth into a vast interconnected network, allowing instantaneous communication and vivid visual and auditory experiences between people no matter the distance. Furthermore, he envisioned handheld devices that could enable these remarkable interactions. The inventor is often associated with a fascinating invention known as his oscillating machine. It has been said that this machine had the capability to create small earthquakes in its surrounding area. Interestingly, it was observed that the machine's power would gradually increase the longer it was left turned on. While some argue that these reports are exaggerated, there is a recorded event from 1912 where a journalist interviewed Tesla, and he provided a detailed description of his initial testing of the machine in practical terms. According to the inventor himself, Tesla had brought a small version of his oscillating device, no larger than an alarm clock, and attached the device to the steel framework of a building still undergoing construction. After adjusting the oscillator, the building began to tremble, and the structure quickly came down, with many believing that an earthquake had just occurred. The police had been called shortly after, as an investigation quickly began, causing Tesla to quickly retrieve his device and leaving shortly after. Although many now believe that the story was made up by Nikola Tesla for nothing more than additional media attention, others disagree given the fact that, theoretically, if an oscillating device could match the resonance frequency of an object, it could begin to cause it to vibrate and tear apart similar to that of a violin shattering a crystal glass. Today, there are no surviving mechanisms of such a device, though researchers are now well aware of a phenomenon known as resonance frequency, in which any element can be broken down when subjected to certain frequencies and vibrations. Many have called Tesla the unsung hero of modern science and technology. Nikola Tesla, a brilliant Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, and visionary genius, is often overshadowed in popular history by his contemporaries like Thomas Edison. However, Tesla's contributions to science and technology were profound and far-reaching, laying the foundation for many of the innovations that define our modern world. One of Tesla's most significant contributions to the world was his development of the alternating current electrical system. In the late 19th century, the battle between AC and direct current was fierce, with Thomas Edison promoting DC as the standard for electrical distribution. Tesla's insight and innovation led to the successful implementation of the AC system, which revolutionized the generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. AC proved to be far more efficient than DC for long-distance power transmission, enabling the construction of vast electrical grids that could bring electricity to homes, businesses, and industries. Tesla's work on AC power laid the foundation for the modern electrical grid, which is essential for our society's functioning. Tesla's brilliance extended beyond electricity to the realm of wireless communication. His pioneering work on radio transmission and wireless telegraphy laid the groundwork for modern radio technology. While Guglielmo Marconi is often credited with inventing the radio, it was Tesla who first demonstrated the transmission of radio waves across long distances in the 1890s. Tesla's contributions to wireless communication also extended to the development of remote control technology. His inventions and ideas paved the way for innovations in telecommunication, navigation, and even the development of modern smartphones. Tesla is also known for the invention of the Tesla coil, a device that generates high-frequency electrical currents. This invention had a profound impact on various scientific and technological fields, from early X-ray technology to the advancement of wireless power transmission. The Tesla coil's ability to produce high-voltage, low-current electricity made it invaluable for scientific experimentation. It allowed for the study of electrical phenomena and laid the foundation for innovations in medical imaging, radio transmission, and even the development of modern radar systems. Tesla's inventive mind was not limited to electricity and wireless communication. He made groundbreaking contributions to the development of electrical machines and motors. His invention of the polyphase alternating current induction motor transformed industries by providing a more efficient and reliable way to convert electrical energy into mechanical work. Tesla's motors played a pivotal role in the industrialization of the United States and beyond, powering everything from manufacturing plants to transportation systems. His ideas and inventions in this field continue to shape modern machinery, transportation, and manufacturing processes. Beyond his numerous inventions, Nikola Tesla was a visionary who had ideas that transcended the technological capabilities of his era. He envisioned a world where wireless power transmission would eliminate the need for power lines, a concept that is still being explored today. He also proposed the development of renewable energy sources, such as harnessing power from the sun, long before they became practical. Tesla's commitment to the betterment of humanity is evident in his desire to provide access to free energy for all. He believed that the equitable distribution of energy resources would alleviate global inequalities and contribute to a more sustainable world. Nikola Tesla's importance extends far beyond his lifetime, and his inventions and ideas continue to shape the world we live in today. The AC electrical system he championed powers our homes, industries, and technology. The radio technology he pioneered is a cornerstone of modern communication. His high-frequency electrical research has led to advancements in various fields, including medical imaging and telecommunications. Tesla's legacy also endures in the minds of innovators, scientists, and engineers who draw inspiration from his work. His unconventional thinking and willingness to challenge established norms have encouraged generations of thinkers to push the boundaries of scientific discovery and technological innovation. In a recent revelation, an esteemed quantum physicist, Deep Prasad, who holds the position of CEO at Reactive Q, an organization specializing in quantum technology, shared a captivating and thought-provoking account on the popular social media platform, X, also known as Twitter. This intriguing narrative quickly gained traction and attracted significant attention due to the nature of its content. Prasad, who is not only an industrial engineer but also a distinguished physicist, embarked upon a detailed and lengthy exposition, meticulously describing a remarkable encounter he had with three enigmatic entities that left him astounded and deeply perplexed. Exploring the depths of this narrative, we find ourselves venturing into an unfathomable realm where the boundaries of our understanding are tested. Dr. Prasad said the following: "It's Thanksgiving, and this is going to be a rather complicated post. It's also objectively not a good idea for me to write it, given every scientist has a target on their back in the UFO community, and given that I'm still a tech CEO. Near the beginning of 2019, February 1st, I had the most absurd, world-changing experience of my life. It happened in broad daylight at 9:40 in the morning in my home. More specific details will be for another time when I have a better safety net and can expand more. But to put it simply, I was paralyzed against my will, could not move, and saw three entities. These entities projected hundreds of thousands of sentences and paragraphs in a language that looked like Japanese and Egyptian hieroglyphics. I was terrified that I could barely move and was in complete disbelief at what was happening. I'd go back and forth between, convincing myself that I was having some sort of seizure or had fallen unconscious, and that there was no way this was happening, to downright fear, realizing that it all felt more real than reality. I was scared that I couldn't move and was not in control of the situation, yet could think perfectly straight. At the same time, I was trying to make sense of the symbols. It was incredibly frustrating that I couldn't understand or translate them. The sentences and paragraphs would keep flipping rapidly, and the only English word I saw, at least 3 times, was the word DNA. This means that whoever or whatever was doing this, even if it's my brain, clearly understood English, but was choosing not to use it for everything. The image of my room would disappear when I raised my head a little, but it was hard to do that, and I would feel extremely nauseous. When it disappeared, I realized I was no longer in my room but somewhere else. When I would put my head back down, the image of my room would come back on again, and the symbols were back again. I decided to stop fighting what was happening, and for some reason no longer felt fear, but total fascination. The fear feeling would come back every now and then, but by this point, I was observing everything that was going on. The color of their suits, their size, their mannerisms, and the feeling that my mood was being rapidly cycled. After a certain point, one of them jumped on top of me and slowly walked towards my head. Right before it did this, it was on the ground near my TV, and displaying these beautiful golden holograms in the middle of its suit. These golden sparkles would jump around it too. Once it was on me, it walked towards me so slowly and cautiously, and I felt like I was being treated like an animal. I felt this weird light hitting the top of my head, and suddenly I got hit with the most blissful, euphoric feeling I have ever felt. I will try my best to describe it. It felt like the universe was sentient and aware of my existence. The feeling was of warmth and nostalgia. It was like a reminder that space is teeming with life, and that we're all related to each other by virtue of existing. I used the word oneness, which meant nothing to me before. After a few minutes of experiencing this, I got knocked out or lost consciousness, and woke up instantly. Not a minute had gone by since the experience started. I was heaving and looking around, completely shocked at what just happened. I couldn't believe no time had passed. I still didn't think what had happened could be authentic, but I question it less today than I did when it first happened. This all happened around an interesting time in my life. I had spent roughly 3 months studying unidentified objects, which is why I doubted the experience since I was biased. I was debating whether to delete all my tweets on the subject, because I was starting to think it was all one big scam, and I was disgruntled with the lack of hard evidence. This pushed me over the edge and made me double down on my obsession. I decided I needed to find more people who had these experiences, so I got in contact with the Toronto CE5 group. I booked a ticket and would meet Hal and Lou Elizondo the next month. I needed to know who these people were, what was going on, and if I had officially gone crazy. My life got weirder days after this experience. First of all, another thing that had happened a few weeks before this was someone passed away who was in my circle. We were not that close, but I looked up to him and related to him. Finding out about his passing had me traumatized, and it was affecting my work. Yet after the experience, I realized that feeling of oneness had not gone away. It was impossible to feel fear, and I literally could not feel fear no matter how hard I tried. I felt love for everyone, and it was very hard to make me mad. When I did, it wouldn't last very long and sizzle out fast. I was objectively the better version of myself. My beliefs in God changed almost instantly too. I went from an atheist to being spiritual. I started having dreams of seeing the inside of some of the UAPs we so commonly hear about. Mostly saucers and orbs, and some of my dream characters spoke only through telepathy. I had never in my life dreamed such things until this year. I'd experienced impossible electrical anomalies 2 weeks after it happened, and I started feeling unnerved because I felt I had lost my free will to an extent. I didn't like that this newfound fearlessness, unconditional love and so on were not coming from me. I considered getting an MRI done to see what parts of my brain were rewired. It was unnatural, but extremely good and liberating. If the whole world experienced this state of mind I was in, we would level up overnight. I am convinced all the hate, fear, and anger would disappear overnight from our society. After a couple of weeks, this feeling and state of mind dwindled down until I was back to my normal self again. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the way things were those first 2 weeks after the experience. I had my first sighting just weeks after this, and have had 4 in total since, 2 of which I have recorded.